up, guys? What's up, guys? Again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I thought I'd do this video because I'm in the 30 plus music creator community. And I've seen a lot of videos, other people that's in my age range. They made videos about this topic. And I want to be, you know, personal, transparent. That's why I'm doing this live. If you want, people want to have this discussion live, they can talk to me. 30 plus years old, still trying to do the music thing, uh, and it can be, uh, I wouldn't say depressing, but you know, during this time, 30 years old and older, you can get kind of, you can get very wary that your dream as far as music will never happen. You feel like music is your big dream, your big. You feel like you could get a big break in music, but you feel like uh, you're 30 plus and you haven't accomplished those things yet. Uh, and you got to find ways to navigate. Not don't just think and just sit back. But the key to if you're a 30 plus year old music creator, uh, you have to think about creativity. Think about you have to listen a lot. The older you get, the more you should listen to things, listen to conversations. Uh, Jermaine Dupri and B. Cox often talk about when they created Confessions in 8701. They had conversations, and I think the older you get and you're in this music industry, you have to listen more because you may not catch up with the latest situations or the trends. So you have to listen more when you get older. You have to listen way more so you can be aware of what's going on in today's society. Uh, you can get frustrated. You ask the question why things haven't happened yet. In my music career, why has nothing really popped off like you felt it should have. You may you regret that certain things didn't happen uh, when you was under 30 years old. Why things didn't happen fast enough. uh, you'll ask a lot of those questions, and it's interesting. I'll tell my story. uh, I'm about 28, 29. Well, I was a little younger. I had a meeting with certain people, about shopping my music in the industry. And it didn't happen the way, you know, I wanted it to happen. You meet certain people in the industry that's kind of, I should say, shady. They want to take advantage of you and your gift and your talent. And they want to, take your music. And you want to go in the music industry the correct way. You don't want people to take advantage of you, of your dreams and your aspirations. You don't want people to take advantage of the things you have. You work hard on your music, and those things happen. That's the past, and I didn't accept those opportunities because I knew that they would have taken advantage of me and my music. And so I moved on. I had a certain moment where I said, no, I don't want to do music no more. I don't want to, I don't want to do this no more because I'm discouraged at the people, not the music, but the people that, handles music. And so, I just moved on with things. And then later on, I said, by the time I turn 30, if nothing pop off, I'm going to stop doing music. And I guess because I have so much of a love of music, uh, I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't stop music, and so I kept going. I kind of slowed down, for a little while, and then I started getting heavily into songwriting, like doing full songs. Did a little project, around 30, 29, 30, a little before then. Uh, and I did a project, and people shared my music. I got pretty amount of good spins on streaming, and stuff like that. And opportunity came, and I was about 31, 32, and got a great placement later on. And so don't give up, don't stop, because things that happen in your timing, you know things will happen in the right time. I feel, I think it happened at the right time because I was more knowledgeable of the ins and outs of music business. And so things may not happen at the right time. Man, things may not happen when you want it to, but it may happen at the right time and the right opportunity in the right place in order for you to handle those opportunities that will come your way. You may not understand why is it taking so long for things to happen. We see a lot of these incidents. Incidents where a lot of these celebrity music business moguls are being things are being exposed. So in a way, I'm kind of glad that I didn't go in the industry earlier. Uh, when I was really into music, I'm glad things didn't pop off then, because I'll be in the middle of those things happening, during those times. And so, I'm glad things happen the way it is now, where, you know, you can be your own distributor, you can be your own, uh, you can shop your own music, digital DSPs and stuff like that, where you can really shop your own music. And so, don't be discouraged. Just be a good listener. Create great melodies. I feel melody is king. Even from the beginning of time, as far as music. Create a melody. Just create something that's relatable to people. I feel like that will make you a timeless music creator, if you just create realistic situations or realistic topics that everybody goes through. you know that will stand the test of time. No matter how old you are, creating music. If you create music that reflects situations, you create music that reflects life, life challenges, relationships, spirituality. You can always have a place in music. And it's a blessing to be in music, because it's ageless. You can create music when you're 60. You can create music when you're 80. It's no age limit to create music. you know and so, yeah, we're fortunate to be in this world of music, where we can just create and get paid off for things that we create, out of our own mind and God influence. And so, uh, again, appreciate y'all for watching. I hope y'all watch this back. If you want to support this channel and watch this later, you can send me a super chat or super thanks if you watch this later, and you got some value out of this conversation. And let me know who's in here. Let me know who's in here. Again, appreciate y'all for watching. But like I said, things popped off for me after 30 years old. Some things, you think about people that founded these huge corporations. It didn't pop off for them until they was in their 40s, their 60s. KFC, Walmart. You know, they was in their 40s to 60 years old, you know, when they started these huge companies, you know, Amazon, you know. And so again, appreciate y'all for being in here. And I hope y'all got some value out of this conversation. Please subscribe to my channel, Music Tips and Reviews with JG. And until next time, peace.